Hey friends, welcome back to another Two Full Two Stack. I'm your host, Nick Taylor. Well, am I a host if it's just me? I don't have guests, but anyways, we're back. Today we are digging in, and let me go open up the chat there. Where did my chat go? Comments would help. There we go. Cool. So today we're digging into analog. It's an Angular meta framework for full stack. So it's got server side and client side stuff you can do. Um, I'll give you a little context. I haven't done Angular since Angular 1.4.6, so it's been a minute. But I'm excited to dive into this. Also, full disclosure, my coworker Brandon Roberts at OpenSauce is actually the one who created this framework, and just mention that because he's been doing a lot of great work. And I happened to stream with him about a year and a half ago, I think, and we took a little peek into analog at the time, and when I did take a peek with him, analog, I think, just got server-side rendering at that point. So, anyways, we're gonna just dig into it. And like I said, this is gonna be exploratory and fun because, as I mentioned, I haven't done Angular since 1.4.6, and that's Angular JS, not Angular. So I think when Angular came out, I used 2.0 and I made like a Hello World app and stuff. So if there's any Angular devs that happen to be in the chat today, feel free to guide me in certain respects. But I think we're just going to dive into it, and we're going to look at the docs. We're going to see what it can do, what's available, and also just wanted to congratulate the analog team and Brandon again for 1.0, which dropped recently. I think there's a post about that. Analog JS 1.0. There we go. Yeah, it's a post on Dev 2, my old stomping ground. So you can check that out there. And also just gonna do a quick check on the YouTubes just to make sure we're actually, it says we're live, but I always kind of like to just, so let's go check that out. 1 second here. I'm sure Brian's probably gonna tell me, yes, you are live, but I still like to check. All right. Yeah, we are live. Okay, that's good. Cool. All right. Yeah, thanks, Brian. Okay, so let's just we're gonna kind of go through the docs a bit. And like I said, because I really haven't done Angular in a long time, I might be a little clunky moving around, but I've read through a bit of this. And y- if you're, so I've been doing mainly React since 2015. And like I said, a bit of Angular before that. But it is a meta framework, so there's a lot of common things here. So there's like file-based routing. It's got SSR, server-side rendering, and static site generation support, file-based routing, and API routes or routes. I never know which one to say. But anyways, here, actually, I'll put this on the Jumbotron temporarily. And like a lot of the frameworks, I'd say pretty much every, can't say every framework for certain, but most frameworks these days are using Vite under the hood. Next.js is using Turbo, which is something they're building over at Vercel, which is kind of like a successor to Webpack. But aside from Next.js, I think the majority are using Vite. Remix, which is another React meta framework, they moved to Vite recently. I think that port's officially done. Redwood, I believe, is on Vite. I'm not sure. They were on Webpack before, but not positive about Redwood. But all right, so let's just take a peek here. Let's go look at the docs, and we're just gonna kind of go through things here. So, like I said, bear with me. This is a non-Angular dev doing this, so Brandon, if you're watching, please forgive me. All right, so let's clear this, and of course I've got my work open, so let's just close the folder. Okay, and we'll open that up, and we'll go to cd, go to my devs folder. Actually, streams. There we go. Clear. Okay. So I'm gonna bring this to the front for now, and we're gonna zoom in a bit more just so folks can get a good read here. Okay, so yeah, so it's got Vite support. So the nice thing is that if it's got Vite, that means you have access to the entire Vite plugin ecosystem, which is super cool. It supports VTest for testing and Playwright for end-to-end testing. And we'll take a peek at the like we're gonna start up a project soon, but it's got file-based routing as mentioned. So we're gonna just go through a few of these things before we start doing some live coding. But so you have index routes, static routes, dynamic routes, layout routes, and catch-all routes. So index routes are like the main one. And I have to get used to the Angular component decorators here again. Or I can't remember if they use that in Angular JS too, but static routes, which are just like a particular route like slash about. Then we got dynamic routes, which, you could pass in some information. So like exactly like they're showing here, product details. And also hat tip right off the bat, great documentation. So shout out to Brandon and team. Layout routes. So this is a layout, which is going to encapsulate these particular pages here. I don't know offhand if they support nested routes, but we'll find out as we go along. I feel like it would be possible. Yeah, I pulled down the banner, Brian. Yeah, I think I pulled it down just as you were saying that. Um, that is, if StreamYard is listening ever, it'd be nice if you could have timed ones. Like I don't know if that exists, but it would be nice to just say like show it and then like hide it after 30 seconds. But anyways, I digress. Yeah, so we got some dynamic routes. So this is something if you've used Next.js or pretty much any meta framework at this point, Svelte, whichever, you pass in part of the route is the dynamic part, and that could be used to load the specific product ID to get the product information, for example. And then we got catch-all routes. This, yeah, like your error pages and stuff. So it's got pretty much like what I would say are table stakes stuff for file-based routing. This is nice. Supports Markdown as content routes, and I guess this is. Oh, okay. So you create a MD file, and then okay, that's actually really nice because like um, typically, what I've seen is it's like you're bringing in Markdown, and then you have something that converts the Markdown. But the fact that this ships out of the box, like just like Markdown, if you have an about.md, for example, that's pretty sweet. Okay, and then yeah, Prism JS is a common one for just code highlighting. Okay, yeah, so there, and then let's go see what else we got. So support for API and server routes. So think of just API calls. Okay, yeah, Astro does have it too. Okay, yeah. Okay. I knew they had Markdown support, but I didn't know it was like out of the box like that. So thanks for calling that out, Brian. Um, I'm drinking from two sides today. I've got water here to hydrate, coffee to caffeinate on the right. So anyways, I'm multitasking. So API routes, this is something like, again, most of the meta frameworks have this stuff. If you've been in React land, yeah, this is pretty common if you've been working with Next.js. And so I guess they have this define handler. I'll zoom it in a bit more here. And then essentially this is just the handler function. And so here we're just returning a snippet of JSON that says message hello world. Ooh, interesting. XML content. Okay, that makes sense in the context of RSS feed. Aside from that, I haven't used XML and XSLT in a long time, but those are just nice out of the box stuff. And the other thing here is because we have those dynamic routes, so you're going to get some SSR and SSG support. So we'll just go through this real quickly. If you've worked with any framework, probably at this point you're familiar with server-side rendering, but let's see what it says here. Some dependencies may need additional transforms to work for server-side rendering. If you receive an error during SSR in development, one option is to add the package to the SSR.noExternal array in the config. Okay, we'll see if we get there. Um, Again, this is like like evergreen for me or just totally green. Even though I did do a previous stream with Brandon about analog, it was kind of more him talking about it. And like I said, SSR support was just landing at that point. So this is a while ago now. It also supports the Angular CLI. I'm not sure if that means just so you can um, just run the migrations and stuff maybe with the Angular CLI. It's got NX support uh, out of the box, so that's for like workspaces, which is nice. And it supports Angular components with Astro. Okay, so we're not building with Astro today, but I guess that's if you were to bring in Analog as your client side framework for Islands and Astro. So okay, so lots of cool stuff here. All right, and we will get to live coding soon. So let's start here. Let's create a new application. So here's what we're gonna do. Excuse me. All right, so we're gonna say just copy paste of this. Oh, and yeah, we got the copy button. Thank you. Nice DX in the docs. Okay, let's paste that in and we'll just hide the sidebar for now. We'll get a bit more real estate here. Just bump it up so we can see what's going on here. Okay, yes, I would like to proceed. We'll call it, uh, yeah, we'll call it analog project. Why not? Okay, select a template. I think I'll go with analog. Maybe in the future there's going to be other templates like a blog template, perhaps. I'm not sure. But that'll be interesting to see. Okay, we'll go with okay, selective variant. So I'm not sure what other templates you would have aside from analog in that previous step, but here we can select a variant, Angular 17, blog, or V16. Let's see what they say here. You can also scaffold new project with NX. We're not going to, although I've used NX before, we're not going to dig into NX today just to remove, not that NX is necessarily complex, but I want to focus on analog itself. So, okay. I'm also very paranoid about my microphone. The last 2 streams I've done, my own live streams, just doing some work, my mic was not working, and I didn't realize until like a couple minutes in. But I was super paranoid, so I did tons of checks to make sure this one was working. Okay, we can try the Angular 17, I guess, or maybe play it safe with a blog because that will give us some file-based routes, perhaps. So, yeah, I'm not sure which one. I wonder if they have suggestions. Uh, create analog. Okay. You know what? I'll play it safe. I'll go with blog. Yes, I would like to use Tailwind. Okay. So that was nice. You had a couple options there. Also adding Tailwind. A lot of CLIs for meta frameworks offer that now. It's, you know, yeah, yeah, blog for sure. Yeah. Especially if I'm not super well versed in Angular at the moment. So, all right, let's go to the analog project. Let's do npm install. So I'm just gonna do, I'll do the full command just for folks in the back, and that's gonna install. And then to start development server for the application, run npm run start. So this is just a question for uh, analog team, or maybe I'll ask Brandon after. Here it's saying npm run dev, which I'm sure runs it in dev mode. I wonder if I'll check the package JSON in a second, but if the start is any different, it might be the same. And fun fact, while that's installing, uh, if folks are curious why Vite at one point changed their default port to 5173, uh, it's because it's supposed to spell Vite, basically. The 1 is an I, the 7 is a T, I think. The 3 is like an E. The 5 doesn't really look like a V. It's definitely not letters because the E is like letter number 5, but I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere. Um, but it did cause, I know at some point I think it threw some people off because the port had changed. But anyways, all right, cool. So everything's installed here. Okay, that's good. Let's just clear this. And I just want to take a look at the package JSON. Actually, I didn't even open up the project in Visual Studio Code yet, so let's do that. Okay, so if we look at the package JSON, yeah, ngserve. Okay, so npm start just runs the dev. Okay, so um, I wonder if that's a point to mention to Brandon. I'm just gonna mention it. I'm gonna copy pasta that over in my notes. Where's my notes? Move that over here. Where's my notes? Give me one sec here. There we go. Cool. Let's move that over here. All right, let's unlock that. And I'll just create a new note. Not that I have anything to hide in my notes really, but npm start npm run dev. Cool. Just want to leave that note for Brandon. I'll speak to him later. All right, let's get back. Okay, so basically we want to run npm run start. Okay, so I'm in VS Code and it's asked me, do I want to install the Angular language service? I'm guessing that's a good thing. So let's go for that. Let's install that. Okay, it's done. Oh, I don't need to reload. That's nice. Okay, package lock got updated. Okay. Yeah, that's because I scaffolded it. So, okay, so let's close that and let's open up the dev tools and we'll do nr start. Cool. Would you like to share a pseudo on us about from the Angular team? Uh, sure, why not? Cool. All right, so we're running now. So we're on localhost. So if I come over here, boom, we've got a blog. So we got a home page, which is right here. We can go to the first post, go back home, go to the second post. I'll shrink that a bit. All right, cool. I'm just gonna hide my sidebar there. Okay, now angular.json. Okay, okay, so that just enabled stuff. Okay, I'm just gonna discard these two for now. Okay, so let's take a peek in here. So we've got source, and let's see if we can come back into the. Let's move this over to my scratch pad. Cool. And okay, so we got that started. Uh, we don't need to do a build because we're not deploying it. Okay, so let's take a peek at the routing. So yeah, so defining routes. So if you want to add a new route, you can go under the pages in the app. So let's do that. And I'm assuming we'll see some, yeah, so we've got our blog routes here and stuff, and we got the main index page, and here's a couple pages. So all right, so this here, the blog has a slug. So this is a dynamic route. If we, let's open this up a bit more. And I'll just shrink the side over here a bit. I normally don't have the sidebar open, but I'm not familiar with the project at the moment. So all right. So as I mentioned, it's been a while since I've looked at Angular code, but let's look at a page here. So we have a component, and it looks like the selector is the app blog post, and I'm just gonna get a little familiar real quick. I think this is something in Angular where it just says where it inserts it potentially. We got some imports here because this is a blog page. So there's the markdown component and there's async pipe. And so here we can see uh, it's using analog markdown, and that's just a component that will render markdown. So like if we come back to here, for example, that's my first post. Let's change the content here and let's use template tags just to see. And then we'll say like YOLO, and then let's create a list. Hi, history. No, I meant hi. Uh, yo, and then let's close that. Okay. What's it saying? Invalid character, opening tag, okay, maybe I need to. It doesn't like me popping in the content there, maybe. Uh, well, let's just do this, maybe, just to see. I think it might not like the template literals there, but we'll see. Okay, what's it not? Unexpected token, Lexer error, unexpected token, Lexer error. Okay, so maybe I can't write markdown directly in there. I don't know. Maybe it needs to be a variable. Oh, because this is a property. I see. Okay. Um, okay, so I see what's going on. So we got this post, because if we go back to what it was, boom, 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 boom. Cool. Post dot content. So where's the post? Go to definition. Okay, async is post. Okay, so if we have that and there's the post, okay, and then post dollar is coming from down here. Oh, okay, I see. So this is injecting some content, and let's go to post attributes. Okay, and we got a few things here. Okay, cool. I am curious where those posts are coming from though. Content, example post. Okay, that's what this is here. Okay, so this is where the markdown support is coming as well. So I could say YOLO and save that. Okay, perfect. Okay, I see. So we've got a content folder there, and that's pulling that in. So that's one way to do it. The other way, let's put that back. You said you can use markdown. So I'm curious if we did this. So new file, YOLO.md, and then let's say YOLO, hello there. And now let's come over here and let's go to YOLO. Hopefully I'm doing this right. Okay, cool. So that's super nice. I like that. You can just do the markdown out of the box. So these are nice things. All right, cool, cool. It's centered, but that's based on the template. But we can do all kinds of stuff here. So we could add a link. That should work. HTTPS angular.io. Save that. Okay, yeah, puts the link. Okay, so that's nice. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So we took a peek at that. So we got the custom route, which is the slug. And so let's see how the slug gets treated in here. Trying to see post dollar. Okay, yeah, it's reading the slug from the route. Okay, I see. Yeah. So for example, if we change this to ID, this should, if we undo there, cancel, no. There. So if we save this and go back to home, go to my first post, it's still, okay. Oh, it renamed it, sorry. So if I change this to ID, for example, I'm expecting this page to crash. Okay, or it doesn't find any content. So, but if I change this to ID, boom, we get stuff. Okay, and then boom, we're back. So the ID there, just take note of that. Just like other meta frameworks, it's whatever you put there is what you need to access in the actual file. We've got the index page, and in here is our template with all this stuff. Yeah, so in Angular, it's at whatever for most things. Yeah, wow. I definitely got to dig into Angular more. And I think analog is probably a good place to try that out. Um, let's take a couple peek at a couple other things. So I like that there's this is a test spec, obviously, but it comes in it with it out of the box and it's co-located. So I kind of like that. Um, okay, describe. Maybe there's something missing here. Cannot find name. Did you install the? It's not Jest. It's using vtest. So maybe there's something missing there, but Anyways, okay, let's continue on over here. Let's keep looking here. So let's look at where is it? Yeah, we did the index route. Can also be defined using index.page.ts. That's what we have in the blog. Okay, so you could give it a yeah, you could give it a name as well. Okay. Then we got the static routes. We looked at one of those. We did a markdown one, so that's cool. It's possible to define nested static routes in two different ways. So you can have an about team page defines a about slash team route, but using the dot notation works as well. Okay, so that's I don't know if other uh, really not sure if other file-based routing does the dot notation, but that's good to know. Okay, now route groups. I'm curious about this. So routes can be grouped together in the same folder without adding a route path segmented by wrapping a folder name in parentheses. So, okay, so the above example defines login and sign up routes under auth. Is that what happens? Let's see here. Route groups can be grouped together in the same folder without adding a route path segment. Okay, I guess it's just like a shorter way to do it. Then we got the dynamic routes, which we're already seeing here. So if we come down here, so we're getting the param and we're injecting it. So in that particular case, they're using a product ID in the route over here that you can see here, and that's what they're accessing here. That's similar to what we're doing in the blog template. So it's I put it to ID, but it's the same thing here and here. Okay, cool. They can also be defined using the dot notation in the file name. Okay, so same thing here. So you could say products dot some product ID dot page. Okay, using route component input bindings. If you are using the with component input binding feature with the Angular router, you can use the input decorator along with the same parameter name to get the route parameter. Okay, this might be out of my wheelhouse at the moment because I haven't dug into Angular a lot in recent years, but this is just another option if you're using the Angular router, I guess. And okay, we got a layout route. So let's see how that works. So we've got the two routes. So one with a shared layout, and you know what? Let's just build these out. So let's do, say here, product, new file, products slash product ID dot page dot ts. Oh, gotta spell products right. Okay, cool. So we got that product page. Um, so we go to products and products product ID. The parent source app page products page file contains the parent page with a router outlet. Okay, so the outlet, this Remix has outlets too, so similar to that, I guess. So, um, okay, source app pages products.page ts. So let's create that. So new file products.page.ts. Oops. New file products.page.ts. I am really YOLOing it today, but that's all good. It's fun to be thrown into the unknown. And again, if there's any Angular aficionados out there, feel free to call me out on anything here. It looks like that's used, and then the product page. So what would go into the product page? So we can do this, and then product ID page. So let's copy this over into there. Let's see, and then params.get product ID. Okay, And that's good. Okay, let's try this. I don't know if this is gonna work. Okay, so let's do products. Okay. Oh, it gave me products there. Okay. And then let's do product ID. So let's just say 12. So products, product details, ID 12. Okay. So that's kind of neat. The outlets are kind of nice because then uh, I wonder if you could do a nested layout because I wonder if you could have an outlet in an outlet. Um, I'm gonna go on a limb and try this. So let's do this. Let's products page, and then how would that work actually? Yeah, maybe let's not dive too deep. Okay, so that's the products, and then we got our product ID page, and yeah, it's just outputting that. And awesome product details go here. Cool. All right. Oh, and that's no, that's not markdown. That's markup. So let's just put that there. Cool. So that's neat. So it's got the concept of outlets, which is nice. Okay. Uh, pathless layout routes. So layout routes can also be defined without adding a route path segment. So this is what I kind of want to understand. So auth page, the above example defines login and sign out routes with a shared layout. Um, but the file contains the parent page with a router outlet. Okay, interesting. So I wonder why you would want to do this. Layout routes can also be defined without adding a route path segment. Oh, I okay, yeah, sorry. I think I understand. So this is so if you hit slash login, you can still benefit from a shared layout. Okay, that's an interesting concept. I don't know if the other ones do that. So let's try that. So let's create a new folder auth, and we'll create a new page in there. So we'll say auth.page.ts. And I'm gonna just copy the same thing as the product one here. I'll rename a few things, but let's put that in there, and we'll just say welcome to your login choices, and we'll call this auth shared layout, or I don't know if you need to say component, but okay, so that's good there. And then we're gonna add in that folder. Oh, sorry, this got to be at the same level as pages. So let me pop that there. And then in here, we're gonna have the login and the logout. So let's do this. So login dot page dot ts. And okay, I will copy what we have in the product page. Cool. And in here, we'll just call this login component. And I don't care about this information, so we don't need that. We don't need this. I'm curious about the async piping here. I guess that's awaiting injecting this information potentially. I'm not sure there, but so we'll just say here, um, generate a login form. Okay, come on, Copilot. You can do it. No? All right. Okay, there we go, Copilot. Thank you. All right, and let's get rid of that. Okay. Now it's good to see Copilot adding labels to things. Button type submit. We don't need that by default, but we can leave it. Okay, so let's save that. And that's the login page. And then actually, if we go to the auth page, we'll just say like, we'll rename this to get secure peeps. All right, so we've got the, so this is the layout for pages under the parentheses auth folder, but it's going to give us this shared layout, but we don't have to do like slash auth slash login. We can just go slash login and still benefit from a shared layout. That's what I'm understanding. Let's see what happens. So if we go to slash login. All right, awesome. Okay. Obviously, I got to clean up a few things here. Let's clean up this login page. So let's go here and we're going to just, we're using Tailwind, so we're gonna go, let's say grid gap 4, and we'll do that. Let's save that, and boom. Okay, username. Okay, none of the inputs have a border. Okay, that's a classic Tailwind. As there styles here? Okay, yeah. So we're just gonna go into the file here, and let's just go input. We'll do button and we'll just say, yeah, at apply border there and border gray. And there we go. And we got our login page there. So this is really nice. So just to reiterate, so we've got a login page. I'm not going to make the logout page too, because these aren't real pages we're going to try to log in with. But um, it's nice because you just go to slash login and you still get that shared layout. I guess in the past, like you probably could do this without this feature, but it would mean you'd have to import the layout component, wrap it around each of those pages. So, it'd be a lot of boilerplate that you'd have to do. So I think this is a nice feature. I can't, unless I'm mistaken, I can't think of any meta frameworks that do that, like Angular or otherwise. Maybe Svelte does, but I'm pretty sure Next.js doesn't do this. Remix has the outlets like I was mentioning, but I don't know if they have this concept of shared layout without requiring like, that extra path. So that's pretty interesting. Okay, cool. Let's move on here. Okay. So the catch-all routes. So this one should be pretty obvious, but so these are like 404 pages and stuff, and I'm curious in why is it dot 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 page dash not dash found ts. This route is usually for 404 pages. That part I get, but I'm wondering what the dot 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 notation is. Right. So let's just copy this for the name. This is under pages. Let's do new file. And let's do not found. All right. And, let's make it interesting. Giphy.com. And we'll go for John Travolta. Hopefully there's nothing sketchy on Giphy right now. Giphy. All right, there we go. This is what I wanted. So let's share. Let's copy that. Boom. 404 needs a good John Travolta. So let's do image src equals boom, boom. We'll add alt text. John Travolta lost. Okay, now I should put a size and a height here, or maybe there's an image component. Yeah, no, I know it's the catch-all, Brian, but I'm just wondering about the dot 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 syntax, or is that something common? That's something I I'm not aware of. So let's just go like this. All right. So John Travolta, where did everything go? And I'm curious. Okay, I guess we definitely need the page not found. I guess that's why it's 404. But I wonder if I do this. I'm assuming this will break. Uh, yeah. Okay. So let's do. Okay. So this is a convention in analog, I guess. All right. So page not found, and then let's go again. Okay. John Travolta's back. Just gonna take out the dot dot dots. I'm pretty sure this will break it. Yeah. Okay. So that's just the full convention. Um, I am curious. I guess the dot 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 because it's a dynamic page, so it's a dynamic error page. Page not found. Um, and then the dot 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 is maybe just extra syntax to show that it's not a dynamic route in the sense like the other ones. I'm curious if we did a 500 page. Wonder if it's 500. Let's go. Uh-oh. Now, I'm trying to figure out how I can make this fail. I could just throw an error on a page, I guess. So let's do this, and then we'll just say throw. In other frameworks, okay, wait, you get to go on the Jumbotron, Brian. Okay, so in other frameworks, I've seen brackets be dynamic, but brackets with dots be dynamic catch-all. Okay, cool. Good to know. Okay, so we're gonna throw an error here. Throw. I'm not even gonna create a new error. This is a test error. That's good enough. Okay, it's complaining. Sure. Okay, so that's gonna complain. So now let's go to a product. Let's go to 12. Transform failed. That's expected. I wonder what the server error page should be. I wonder if they touch on that. Okay. So I think it should pass you all the route details in some kind of structure. Okay. Yeah, okay. And I guess maybe in the page not found, you could potentially use that information. Just say, hey, I didn't find this particular page. Um, okay. There, edit, unknown URL. Okay, so not found. Um, okay. I'm actually curious about the server error one, so I'm gonna just take a note to ask Brandon. And all right. Yes, use password. Thank you, Bear. Okay. There we go. And ask about catch all for server error. I'm not saying these things aren't in analog. It's just I'm like brand spanking new to this. So, and yes, I'll take you off the Jumbotron. Okay. Cool. Did it before you reminded me. Okay. So yeah, so let's just look at this real quickly. So we've got a pages folder in the app folder in the source, which source is pretty standard for most projects these days. So we've got this kind of, I'd call it kind of like a ghost. It's not even a ghost route. It's really, we're able to have this shared layout in auth.page.ts. So if you hit slash login or slash sign up, you get the benefits of that particular shared layout, and this avoids having to create a route that would have a nested layout, which would have a layout with an outlet, I guess, because like you could have a prior to this, you probably had to do pages slash auth slash login dot page dot ts, and then the shared layout would be in the auth folder. So I think this is a nice feature, and I really don't think other places do that, but I could be wrong. Um, okay, so the marketing one here. Okay, this is also just for grouping. Okay, just it's kind of just grouping in general too here, because this one, if we look at the marketing ones, we're just saying we want to group them in here, but there's no actual slash marketing in the routes, but it's just a way to say these are marketing pages. So I think that's pretty neat. And then here we've got a dynamic page. Here we've got our layout, and okay, so that's good. Okay, and again, just a quick recap for the file-based routing. These all basically resolve to just routes without file extensions. Cool. All right, route metadata. So let's see here. Okay, this requires a caffeine sip. Also, just so you know, Brian, if you end up streaming to multiple platforms, you can comment on LinkedIn, but you have to actually go to LinkedIn. You can't do it from StreamYard. Other platforms do that too, and it's kind of a not necessarily a normal thing. It's just that it's not. I guess the APIs for those other streaming platforms don't allow for that yet. So, all right, cool. So let's look at route metadata. So this is additional metadata to add to the generated route config for each route, and it can be done using the route meta type. This is where you can define the page title, any necessary guards, resolvers, providers, and more. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's a bit annoying, like I was saying, Ryan, because like I was streaming to uh Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitch. And Twitch I can respond to. YouTube, I can, but even Twitter, you have to go to Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so this is nice. So this is just another way where we can decorate some data. So like this is the title of a page. So for example, let's come over here, and maybe the blog template already does this. So let's go take a peek. Let's go to the blog. I feel like the blog template might have already had this. Okay, it doesn't. So let's see here. Oh, and let me fix my product page there. Where was it? The products here. Yeah. Let's get rid of that, throwing that error. Cool. All right, we're back in business, and I just want to check the metadata. So, okay, so it's a separate property that you export. Okay. So let's go to the blog page, export default. Okay. So export defaults for the actual page, and this is route meta. So let's auto import this stuff. Um, we don't need any providers or anything right now. I'm not going to get too fancy because, again, I'm not up to speed with modern Angular. But let's see here. So this is the. Am I in the products page? Yeah. So I wonder if you have access to the. Oh no, this is in the. Actually, let's go to the actual product page itself. And where is it? Here. Okay, so let's do the same thing in here. So we're going to export this metadata, and I'm going to import this again. And okay, so I'm going to say product. Now, I don't know if I have access to this up there. I feel like I'm not going to, but we'll find out. I think I'm guessing I'm not going to because it's not wrapped in the at component decorator, but let's just go see. Worst case, it's just going to be plain text. So let's go to products. And let's go to 12. Okay, so we've got our product page showing like it was before. Let's go and view page source, and let's clean this up. Okay, there's a lot. Okay, I'm in dev mode. So um, let's see here. Okay, maybe instead of doing view page source, because we're in dev mode, I'll just inspect here. Okay, and I'm gonna just bring this up, and let's just zoom in a bit here. All right, and we should have a title in here. Okay. Yeah, so you see here that metadata put in the title. Now, it didn't put the actual product ID because either I can't access that metadata or I'm just got the wrong syntax because I think within the metadata you can't. Yeah, you can't. I guess not. Um, I wonder. Maybe this would work. I'm guessing no because I'm not. Yeah, I'm not in the component there. So um, I guess that's just more a knowledge gap for me. But so awesome product. Okay, awesome product details. Cool. And then we'll see that update, and you see it updates here. So cool. All right. So that's good. I won't go into the other metadata, but it looks like there is a bunch of stuff you can do there. So let's bring this back. Let's zoom in again. Okay. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, let's go full. And so we got the metadata. The can activate. I'm not sure what that is. Again, probably just some knowledge gaps in my Angular knowledge. Okay, so redirect routes. All right, so metadata redirect to path match full. Okay, let's try this one because this one will be interesting. Let's pop that there. And we're just going to say redirect to, I guess we'll say blog path match full. Sure. Okay. What other options do we have? Is TypeScript going to give me? Yeah. So we have full or prefix. So you can have partial or full. Okay. Cool. Also, side note, Brian, when I was doing the Astro stream last time, and you're saying I wasn't selling TypeScript well, the reason why my merge declaration didn't work was because I forgot to add context in the netlify.locals thing in the type, so that's why I wasn't picking it up. But anyways, that's just a side note. Okay, so we've got this here. So now if I go to my product, you see how it redirected. So slash product 12, and then it goes right back to home. So that's neat. So this is a way you can bake in redirects. So um, that's just another option in with the metadata. So that's cool too. Let's see what else we got here. Just doing a time check. It's almost the hour, but I'm probably gonna go for we've still got some stuff to go. I'm good to go for about like another 35 minutes. So we might not be able to cover everything, but there's a lot of I definitely want to get to like API routes and data fetching because that looks interesting. I don't think we'll have chance to dig into static site generation today, but side note, if you ever feel like inviting uh, Brandon onto the CFE dev, I think that would be a great guest. Okay, so yeah, we got these redirects. Okay, route meta tags. Okay, title, refresh. Okay, so these things here, okay, this is Brian will know what this is, but for folks who might be newer to web development, this is a type of meta tag, and this is a way to basically make a page refresh. Um, it's there's use cases for it, but if we come here and let's put this in. I'm not going to do 30 seconds because that's just wasting time. So refresh every, we'll say 5 seconds, and we'll do here. And then I'm just going to put in here, let's do uh, time there, and then we'll do, I guess I set it here, read only, time dollar. Yeah, that looks good. And we'll say uh, date equals. Am I mixing up that HTML element? Hold on a sec. Date time HTML. Okay, yeah, it's time, date time. That's it. Okay. So date time, and then in here, I don't think we need to do any of this stuff. It's not asynchronous, so let's just see. I think that should be good enough. But so this will go, you know what we want this actually there. You know what, whatever. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. We'll just put it in, we'll keep it simple, but it should have a date time in there as well. Okay, let's save that. Let's go to our product now. Let's go products 12. Okay, so it's gonna refresh every 5 seconds, or it should. Okay, you see how the time's changing now? And I'm gonna open up the dev tools and let's scroll up here, but you should see that refreshing. And let's zoom in here. And if we look in the head, we should see this. Okay, it's gonna be hard to show because it's gonna keep refreshing it, but there's a HTTP equiv refresh every 5 seconds is there. Oh, here it is. Okay, it's right here. HTTP equiv refresh. So, anyways, there's use cases for all these things. Yeah, I'll make an intro for sure, Brian. Yeah, Brandon's good people and does a lot of great work in open source too. So, all right, so that was just showing. So you can set other meta tags in here. So if you had an OG image, for example, so like we could do that. So let's do OG image, and then let's say like whatever, some URL, yo, um, and then like that. I forget what the syntax is, but okay, oh yeah, this is a special one, so we'll have to do it like that. OG image, mainly known meta tag. Okay, maybe it doesn't like OG image, or maybe I'm holding it wrong. But anyways, you can add all these meta tags in there, so that could be interesting. Cool. There's like I gotta say, like obviously, like I've mentioned several times, new to modern Angular, but a lot of things in here, even though like I'm not familiar with some of the syntax, like there's a lot of really good features here out of the box. Okay, so we got the route metadata. Okay, I got it wrong here. Sorry, this is what I meant to do. So OG description, OG image, it's property and content. Sorry, but you get the idea here. So that's a nice thing to do as well. So that's cool that you can sprinkle that in there. Okay, now let's look at the content routes, and we already have this in the project with the blog. So um, it supports front matter, meta tags, and syntax highlighting with Prism.js. So we can do like an about.md like I did before. And if we want to use the diff plugin, we can pop it in. And what else we got here? Yeah, we've got the content folder. So that's like if we come back over here, let's close all this up. So we've got the content down here. And I'm curious about the imports though. So like if you want to import, where do you define that? To highlight, change line backgrounds instead of just the text, add this to your global style sheet. Okay, cool. So let's just do that. Um, Whoops, wrong one here, wrong window. Okay, so let's go to our global style sheet and let's come up here. Let's add that. So that's going to pull in the CSS for Prism. And if we go to our content, for example, blog post, we'll just do like diff, and then we'll say bad, and then this will say good. And I like that there's, I guess that's something in VS Code I've never noticed in the markdown. Or maybe it's something with Angular, or I don't think there's no analog language service in VS Code here. So, but that's just nice that you get it like that. So let's head over here, back to the blog, and let's go my first post. Okay, minus and plus gid. Okay, it's there. Why didn't it pick up? Oh, the CSS is there, but I think I need to import. Need to import these to in the app config. So that's what I missed. So the CSS is important, but imported, but it's the markdown is not getting transformed with Prism. So let's go to the app.config. Let's add those. Okay, and now we come back. We should have. Did I hold it right? Did I hold it wrong? What did I do wrong? Um, app.config.ts. Add the diff language. Highlight, yeah, and the Prism diff. Using the diff language tag, yeah, I've got that there. App.config. Uh, I don't think I'll need it. Maybe I need it server side too, because it's a dynamic route. No, let's do a refresh. Let's do a quick check. Um, you can add global styles to this file. Import must proceed. Oh, okay. So that's my bad. It's a syntax error, and I didn't have the terminal open. But basically, if I come back here into my styles dot, where is it? Here. I just have to move this up. For some reason, I thought you needed the Tailwind one first, but okay. So let's come here. No, is that going to do it? Oh, I stopped the server. All right, okay, let's do this. Okay, let's start it up again. Cool. And let's reload this. I'm feeling good. Did I kill it? What did I do? Oh, no. All right, cool. All right, there we go. So now we got, obviously I could style this better potentially, but, and the blog template is centering everything, but that's nice. So you get Prism there in the markdown. That's pretty cool. And just for funsies, let's actually take an actual component in here. So let's go, that's on the content page, but let's go to like, I don't know, let's go to the v config, or where is it? Analog config. No, where is it? V config. Okay, we're just going to take that and where was it? Example post, and I'm going to put TypeScript, and this should pick this up. Uh, and then just change this here to Vite is awesome. And it should support other languages. Okay. I don't know. I think maybe you need to install other languages, but anyways, we got the diff there. So, all right, that's cool. Let's move on. We're kind of speed running here. Just doing a quick check over there. Okay, we good. All right. So that's the highlight plugin, the content files. We've already talked about this. So you got your code fences here. This is typical for gray matter stuff. So you can define your slug here, and that's what's in the route, and that's what will get picked up in the dynamic content when it goes to read over here in the blog. I am glad I picked the blog template, Brian. Thank you for confirming that. So that's the slug here. I renamed this to ID, but let's put it back to slug. But that's how it'll all connect. Cool. All right. To get a list using the list of content files, like in the source content folder, use the inject content files function from analog content. So let's see what that looks like. Okay, so you could get the list of posts, and I have a feeling this is probably what's happening in the home page. Is it this one? Uh, post.attributes.slug. Okay, now it's slightly different. Standalone router outlet. Anyways, that's another option. Um, let's go ahead and look at the API routes. Okay. I've never heard of the H3 package, but guess that's what we're using. So you can have in the server routes. So let's move this over here, and I'll just shrink this. Let's go halvesies here, and let's go in the server. Yeah, source server routes. So let's do new file server slash routes slash I don't know, jokes.ts. And I'm going to do a quick detour, and I'm going to go to where is it? Not there. Let's go to, well, whatever. We'll just use this here temporarily. So let's copy that. And then we could just say, uh, okay, let's do that. I called it jokes, but I was going to put something else. But let's head on over here. And now this is in the server routes. So, oh, do I have to do V1 or that got auto generated? Oh, interesting. It auto, oh no, there already was one, I guess. Okay. So there's a couple nice things here. The route is, uh, it's versioned. And let's see here. Is it this? Oh, well, glad the 404 is kicking in. Okay, so I got to do routes slash. You know what? Maybe it's just slash hello. Okay, we'll read on before I do that. So source server routes folder are also and are exposed under the default API prefix in development. Oh, okay, whoops, that's why. Okay, so we just want to hit API slash hello. Can it? Okay, now I got to put the V1, I think. So there. Okay, so just to be clear, you define a route in the source folder under the server slash routes slash v1 folder. You can probably do one. I wonder if it accepts the one without the v1. It should. But I think in general they're suggesting version it, which is not a bad thing. Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. So that's cool. And we can get some stuff here. The RSS feed, uh, I'm not going to touch on this, but basically, uh, it supports XML and you can transform and create an RSS feed. If you don't have an RSS feed on your blog, even if you don't like RSS feeds yourself, I suggest that you add one. A lot of people still use them, and it's also a way to surface your content elsewhere. Like, for example, on my GitHub README page, I have a GitHub action that updates my README and it pulls in my RSS feed from my blog and grabs like the latest blog posts. So, all right. Just gonna take a quick peek if anybody is no, okay, nobody's over there. All right, and let's see what else. I'm just checking on YouTube here. Okay, cool. Oh, all right, cool. Let's go back to StreamYard over there. Cool. Yeah, you use them all the time. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's a great way to curate content. And like, I'm sure Brian has worked with XML before, even before RSS feeds. Some of my first jobs were using XML and transforming it with things called XSLT and style sheets, and not CSS style sheets, but style sheets that would transform XML into HTML. And anyways, um, cool, cool, cool. Okay, so that's good. Now for static site generation content, set analog to pre-render. So we're not gonna dig into static site generation today, but you basically just need to change your configuration. It can also generate the RSS, and then this is your where you want to have your sitemap. There's a sitemap.xml, which is another thing, but anyways, that's all that there. So let's do dynamic API routes. Okay, so this one will be more interesting. So I've got a lot of files open here. So let's just close a bunch here and let's close that. And let's just okay. So hello slash name.ts. Okay, let's do this one. New file, and we're just gonna say greeting slash name.ts. Now this is a trivial example in here. H3 event. So let's see what this is. So we need to import the type. Nice thing with the VS Code, if you get the, okay, it's not importing it. All right, maybe it's in there. Import from there, and I'm guessing the type is in there. Okay, cool. And we want to say import type. Okay, cool. So we got the H3 event, and this just um, so H3 again is not something I've used before, but it looks like it's just got, the usual request response kind of stuff. And so we have this event dot context, and then params will be able to give you stuff out of the route. So like the name, which is here, and then we can output a particular thing here. So let's let that run. And let's come over here. And again, this is a trivial example, but this is a way like you could say like list product info maybe. So let's go uh, greeting, and I'm gonna say Brandon, and let's do capital. Okay, did I do it wrong? Greeting name.ts. Let me read on before I params.name. Okay, get router param name. Here, let's make this big. Let's read through the whole thing here. Okay, so the dynamic route, we have event.context.params. Yeah, so that I get. Another way to access. Okay, so why is it this not picking it up? It could be because I have that hello. I think it's because I have that other hello route. So let's go take a peek here. Greeting name.ts. No, should be okay. Hmm. Let's let me just verbatim follow what they did. So let's do this. And okay, so with the dynamic API route, we have access to that. So routes v1. Yeah. Oh, okay. I got it. Or maybe I did that right too. This should be slash. Okay, yeah, I gotta create the folder. Okay. Boom. And then we'll do new folder. Hello. Pretty sure this is what I did before, but anyways, let's pull that in. Boom. And in here. Okay. Let's paste that in. Params name. Let's get the event in again. And all right, H3 event. Still not sure why it's not auto importing it, but there we go. That's a type. So it should return hello and then name. So not sure why it didn't. So let's do API v1 slash hello. Okay. I clearly was holding it wrong. But this is interesting because we could get some dynamic info. So let's go to, I think I saw an API, Keanu Reeves API today. The Keanu Reeves WOA API. Okay, so let's see, usage. Okay. Um, all right. Example response. Okay, so let's do this. So we could add a bit more logic in here. So, or you know what? Let's do this. Hello, if not equal to Keanu, we want to return that. And then is that right? If Oh, whoops, yeah, sorry. If event not equal to Keanu, otherwise we want to do fetch random. Okay, it gave me Chuck Norris, but okay, I wanted this one. We want the random Keanu. Let's do that. Cool. And although Chuck Norris could be good too, we could add another case for Chuck Norris. All right, cool. So we're gonna say const response equals await, and then we're do const data. Yeah, that's right. And then we'll just return that. Okay. What did I do? Oh yeah, and I gotta close it. Okay, cool. All right, so let's come back here. So hello Brandon should still show hello Brandon. Let's do Keanu. Okay, what did I do wrong? If event doctor not equal else. Oh, wait. Oh, it's not async. Shouldn't it be async? I would have thought it would be. Okay. Okay, there we go. So let's do that again. So if we do Brandon, did I break it for all case? Oh, I got to return. That's why. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So there. Hello, Brandon. Otherwise, we're going to get Keanu. Uh, and I want to get like a quote. Oh, it's just audio. Uh, yeah, you know what? Let's. Okay, that's interesting. I was hoping to get a actual quote, but we'll do poster. So, okay, let's do that. So we're gonna get the data, and we're gonna get the first one, and we're gonna get out of there. We're gonna grab poster. That's just some destructuring magic, and we're gonna return. This is not a full HTML page, but yeah, we could do that, or we could do this. And let's get some Keanu love in there. Okay. All right, we're good. So now let's go to Brandon first again. What's up, Brandon? And now let's do Keanu. Sweet. Okay. All right. That's pretty massive. Let's give it a size. Let's do height equals 200, width. All right, you know what? Let's do this. Style equals um, height 200 pixels, aspect ratio auto. Let's try that again. Cannot find path. Oh, I clearly broke something. What did I break? That's what happens when you have fun with poster image, poster image. That should be correct. Let's do this. Brandon. Okay, and then let's do Keanu. There we go. Okay, so there we go. This is obviously a silly example, but just showing you that you can have dynamic routes here, so we can keep getting different ones. So there we go. Bill and Ted's is a classic. Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey is pretty good too. Okay, so doing a time check. I've got about 10 minutes, and then I got to call it a day here. Okay, so we've done API routes. Let's try and see if we can look at data fetching real quick. So analog requires the public base URL be set when using server-side data fetching. Set an environment variable using .env to define a public base URL. And then say we want to fetch data. Okay, let's see here. Okay, might not be following this completely. Okay. There's Let's see here. Um, Let me take a sip of coffee. I can probably copy paste all this stuff, but I'm just curious here. I just want to understand what's going on. So fetching data. To fetch data from the server, .server.ts file, it contains the async load function alongside the .page.ts file. So in the pages, okay, so we're co-locating a server page. So like if we have an index dot page, is that how we name them again? If we have, yeah. So say we have index.page.ts, we'd also need to have a index.server.ts. And then in here, okay, we've got some information we want to pass in params, the request, the response, fetch, and this is a page server load, and we return loaded true, and then injecting the data. Accessing the data fetched on the server can be done using the inject load function provided by analog JS router. So we've got the load function. So we're importing the load function, which is this, and um, we import that. Uh, we're converting it to a signal. So I guess it might become interactive client side. I'm guessing here. This could be a stretch. We're getting the type, so type of load, and that's the inject load. Okay, so the router is just so we're saying the inject load function is of type load, which is coming from index.server.ts, and it's supposed to be synchronous. It looks like. Then accessing the data can also be done with component inputs and component input bindings provided in the Angular router configuration. Okay. And then now to get the data in the component, add an input called load. So we're in the component, we're importing the load from the index.server.ts. And then when that loads, uh, okay. Oh, I see. Data dot okay, okay, okay. Sorry. Let's go back here because I was wondering what that data loaded the loaded true here. This is actually the data. So okay, so let's try this. So let's copy this, and I thought the loaded true was like some parameter that you or property you needed to use. So we've got our index page here, and let's create a new file index.server.ts. So this could be like show, and we'll say to full to stack. Okay, so there's that, and got double quotes there. Okay, so we've got our data here now. Okay, that's good. And I'm gonna put them side by side here. Okay, and I'm gonna just bump this down here. Okay, so we've got our data selected. Accessing the data fetched on the server can be done using the inject load function from okay, okay. So a couple things to note here. It's saying the load here is not included in the client build. I'm not sure how it's excluded. I'm guessing it's compiler magic and it goes, oh, this is an index.server import. So okay, similar construct to Svelte kit. Okay, good to know. I honestly haven't done any Svelte aside from I think I did I did one or two live streams with my old coworker Brittany Postma. She's a big fan of Svelte, but I haven't done any Svelte kit really. Okay, so yeah, I'm guessing. I'm pretty sure Brandon's not watching because he's working, and I gotta get back to work soon. But I'm guessing that this index.server notation allows when this gets bundled to say like on the for the server component we do need to import this, but on the client side, just ignore it. It doesn't get added. That's my guess. So let's copy this and let's do that to our index page. Just gonna overwrite the whole blog thing. That's all good because YOLO. Uh, okay, and does it have that export blog? Okay, it's got that whole part there. Okay, and then accessing the data can also be done with component inputs. So uh, to configure the Angular router for component input bindings, add with component into the app config ts. Okay, so let's just copy this whole thing and let's go to app.config.ts. Is it app.config.ts or server? Okay, no, it's app config. Okay. All right. And let's see here. Am I going to break everything? You know what? Let's just add these providers. Provider file router. Okay, provider HTTP client with fetches or providing client. Okay, so we just need this. Let's put that in. Let's replace this. Okay, and then it's not going to find those. Let's, whoops, let's import. Okay, let's import. Okay, cool. So that's done. And now to get the data in the page, add a component. So let's do that. Let's come back to the page. So that would be index.page.ts. Yeah. So index.page.ts, loaded data loaded. Let's paste this in. Let's import the input decorator, or where is that coming from? Input. What's it saying? Value type input is not callable. Did you mean include new? No, I did not. Okay. Maybe I did something different. To signal data. I think the data is loading a different way, but oh no, I already updated this. So what am I looking at here? Where's that data loaded? Source app. Okay, it's a different way. Sorry. So if we come back to the page, let's go here. Hello again, Keanu. Okay, let's go to the home page. Okay, it didn't show anything, and that's because data.loaded. Uh, maybe I didn't do this right. Let's see here. The last part, injecting the data. Let me copy this again. There we go. Copy. And this should be show. I think so. Dot show. Okay, let's save that. And that is pages slash index. Hmm. So why is that not showing? And it's hitting, let's delete a few things here. Let's just go clean slate her. It's hitting a home. So where's home defined again? So, okay, so that's in index dot page. Okay, yeah. Okay, so why is loaded not showing up? There's no other place. So if I just do this. Oh, you know what? I wonder if because I did change some config. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's start this up again. Okay, there, endpoints. Okay, so there's clearly something I did wrong here. I'm not sure what it is, but it's definitely me. I'm pretty sure. Um, so I'm gonna look into that. But it is 2:30, so I'm gonna have to call it. So like, uh, we didn't. finish the injecting the data through fetching data with a index.server.ts. I'm gonna look into that, but thanks everybody for hanging today. It's kind of like a speed run of analog, and I was sweating a little bit because I really haven't done Angular, modern Angular. So, but I gotta say the docs are great, Brandon and team. The I don't know. I felt like I was able to move pretty quickly, even though I haven't worked with modern Angular. So, hat tip to you and everybody else. We're gonna see you next month. Not sure what we'll be streaming about next. I've got some ideas rolling around, but I'll chat with Brian about that. But thanks again for tuning in. Thanks as always for CFE.dev for just supporting me and letting me hang out on their channel. And if you're on LinkedIn, let the CFE.dev team know because we tried streaming there today, so they're just curious about that. So anyways, take care of everybody. Bye.